What's up, everybody? Kyle Russo here from Review and Preview Sports, bringing you some more news in the NBA world as we have entered or are now in a week through NBA free agency here in the 2022 NBA offseason. Before I talk about the free agent that I want to speak about today, make sure to follow us on Facebook at Review and Preview Sports, on Instagram at Review and Preview, on Twitter at Review and Preview 1, on anchor.fm/Review and Preview, and of course, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Review and Preview Sports. Make sure to go like, subscribe, comment on all the videos that we got coming out, almost weekly pushing out content from all the great members here at Review and Preview Sports. Now, with that being said, the free agent that I want to talk about here today is Victor Oladipo. And last week, it was reported that Victor Oladipo had signed a one-year, $11 million contract with the Miami Heat. And as of a couple days ago, it is now being reported that it is actually a two-year, $11 million contract, where the second year is now being reported that it is a player option on the second year, which will allow Victor Oladipo to potentially go back into free agency if he does perform very, very well this next upcoming season in 2022-2023 with the Miami Heat. Now, the 30-year-old former second overall pick out of Indiana, he's been dealing with a lot of injuries these last couple years. In fact, he's played a little under 100 games since the 2017 season. Only played 8 games with the Miami Heat last year, was recovering from an injury that he suffered back in 2020 when the Heat had acquired him at the deadline from the Houston Rockets. Only played 4 games in that 2021 season. And now in 2021-2022 season, he only plays 8 games, the final 8 games of the season. But what was impressive to me, at least, is it looked like Victor Oladipo was getting back on track to that all-star studded player that we had seen with the Indiana Pacers, with his time with the Pacers, with his couple games played with the Rockets, with his one-year stint with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He looked like he was getting back on pace to that almost all-star role player-like caliber level that we had known Victor Oladipo to be prior to the injury bug hitting his NBA career. And in 21 minutes per game, averaging the 8 games, again, very, very small sample size that he played with the Miami Heat, he averaged 12 points, 48% from the field, 42% from 3 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and almost a steal in just 8 games played with the Miami Heat and about 21, 22 minutes played with them per game in those 8 games. Now, Victor Oladipo, because the Miami Heat had made it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, he had played some really good games against the Philadelphia 76ers, had a couple okay games, more bad games, unfortunately, in the Boston series, which would get the Miami Heat, not because of him, but in part of, get the Miami Heat eliminated in the Eastern Conference Finals in a Game 7 against the Boston Celtics, where they would lose with a final score of 100-96. But now bringing him back, gaining some chemistry to go along the likes with a Jimmy Butler, a Bam Adebayo, a Tyler Hero, a Max Strus, a Duncan Robinson, all these great players that the Miami Heat have developed over the course of the last couple seasons, a Gabe Vincent, Kyle Lowry. They're in a really good position right now in terms of their guard depth and their scoring depth that the Miami Heat have acquired and accumulated these last couple years. Now, Victor Oladipo, I think, has the potential, as we saw last season. Duncan Robinson essentially fell out of the starting lineup, to say the least. He just ultimately became the one fear that I had personally had when the Miami Heat had given him that 5-year, $18 million year, which came out to around $90 million, I believe, which is the largest contract ever for an NBA undrafted free agent. For me personally, the biggest weakness with Duncan Robinson's game is just he's not a versatile player. He's a three-point sniper, and when he's hitting a shot, he's one of the best and most lethal shooters in the NBA, which we saw is what earned him that contract. But now that first year into that contract, we've seen Eric Spoelstra taking him out of the starting lineup to the point where he didn't even play in some of these playoff games. A guy making $18+ million a year, a guy who just earned himself a 5-year contract, is not starting on your team. And not only not starting, but wasn't even playing in some of these playoff games. Victor Oladipo essentially taking over his role, and at least in my personal opinion, taking over and earning himself a roster spot for next season. And that's why the Miami Heat were able to reacquire a Victor Oladipo on what I consider a very affordable and very good deal to bring him back essentially for another year. Because, at least in my personal opinion, I believe that if Victor Oladipo has success, the reason why there's a player option on that second year is because he's going to look to retest the market and hopefully get himself one last major deal or one more big deal in his NBA career. Now, Victor Oladipo, when we really saw some of the likes of him last being healthy, again, he played 20 games with the Rockets, averaged around 21 points per game, 40% from the field, 32% from three, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, around a steal per game. But again, reflecting back on his all-star caliber years with the Pacers, in his first year with the Pacers, dating back all the way to 2017, in 34 minutes, 23 points, 47% from the field, 37% from three, a career year for Victor Oladipo. 5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 2.5 steals. That's a really great number for him, showing his versatility and defensive-minded presence as a two-way player in the NBA, which is huge for this Miami Heat team moving forward. Victor Oladipo can potentially earn himself, with that being said, combined with what I just talked about with Duncan Robinson, maybe even a starting role with this Miami Heat team. Maybe run a lineup of Kyle Lowry, Victor Oladipo as the shooting guard, Jimmy Butler as the small forward. Essentially, they're going to have to replace PJ Tucker at that power forward position, and then obviously Bam Adebayo as the 5 as the center. He could potentially earn himself a starting role on this team, which I would not be shocked if he does, as he proved, again, in those very small sample size, 8 games, that he's still a really, really good player, and that when he gains some consistency and chemistry with the guys around him, he can get back to that level that earned him the money that he's made so far in the NBA and has earned him the contract in which he just received from the Miami Heat. So I love this deal for the Miami Heat. I think they get a steal and a player in Victor Oladipo. I think this is a really affordable contract. No real downside to it. Again, Victor Oladipo, I think, is going to come back in year 2.5, could say, with the Miami Heat. And he's going to show face and be a really good player for this team moving forward. And I think that this is a great acquisition by the team and only going to further help them stay up in that stratosphere of Eastern Conference Finals aspirations and maybe even NBA Finals aspirations. I think this is a great deal for both parties. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, before I close out here, quick final remarks. Make sure to follow us on Facebook at Review and Preview Sports, on Instagram at Review and Preview, on Twitter at Review and Preview 1, on Anchor, anchor.fm/Review and Preview, on YouTube, of course. Make sure to like and subscribe at Review and Preview Sports, and of course on TikTok as well. We have a TikTok account, ladies and gentlemen, in which Fun Fact Friday is posted every single Friday on TikTok at Review and Preview. Make sure to go like that as well. But that'll do it here for me, Kyle Russo of Review and Preview Sports, talking some NBA free agency, Victor Oladipo, and what this means for the Miami Heat moving forward. It's a great addition for the Miami Heat moving forward, and I believe will keep them competitive for this next NBA season of 2022-2023. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for listening and tuning in. Make sure to go like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and have a great rest of your day.